Hello, this is Ryan from Amnesty. I'm going to show you how to play Genghis Khan or Mongolia. I'm not going to actually really show you any gameplay footage or anything, but I'll show you what I would recommend a victory condition, their special units, and their social policies. So they have the Mongol Terror, which is combat strength is 30% higher when fighting city-state units or attacking a city-state itself. All mounted units have +1 movement. So essentially what that means is that you'll want to build mounted units, especially since their unique unit isn't a mounted unit to begin with, and you'll be able to run around, take over lots of things, specifically city-state stuff, which somewhat brings a problem as well, considering the game in a domination type setting isn't exactly towards city-states, because city-states don't count towards a domination victory, but I'll get into that a little bit later. So, their two special units will be the Keshik and the Khan, and I'll explain what they do in a little bit. As far as what victory condition I would recommend you to do mainly is definitely a domination victory. He's a early game riser pretty much, so you'll want to take advantage of when he has the Khans and the Keshik. You'll be able to do a lot of damage to whomever's on your continent or whichever. If you're on like an archipelago or an island map, Genghis Khan's really not going to be who you want to be. Outside of domination though, scientific would be the next one I would recommend, specifically because if you take over many city-states, if you take over other players, you have many cities, and the more cities you have, generally the more science you get. Not all the time, but that's usually how it goes. If not scientific, the other two really aren't very strong victories for Genghis Khan, but they are possible. The other one I would recommend is culture. He's going to be generally in a central area. If you're in a continent or playing continents, generally he won't be near the coast. He may be, but he's not really a coastal civilization. With that being said, if there's any wonders that could generate you more culture, you'll have them around, so that will help you out a lot. But again, it's not really something you have a strong suit. He doesn't have a bonus towards it. And then the worst one probably would be diplomacy, because if you're fighting city-states and fighting actual players, there's no reason you should be going for diplomatic. Nobody will like you. No city-state will give you additional votes to be the leader if you're attacking them. So, with that being said, I'll show you the Keshik and the Khan. The Khan costs 120 production or 240 faith. It's the Mongolian unique unit. Its increased movement rate, and it will earn promotions 50% faster, which is huge. This guy will go through promotions like nobody's business, and it's big, very big for you, especially if he's paired up with a Khan. They will become almost invincible, so as long as you know how to use it correctly. Anyway, its combat is 15, which doesn't really matter. More importantly, its range in combat is 16, which that's basically his attack, and that's very strong for the time being when you get these guys. Its movement will be 5, which is very, very fast. Doesn't have defense terrain bonuses, such as he doesn't defend better on a hill or in forests. He can move after attacking, which helps because you can attack something, kill something, move on, or move out of the fire of a city or an archer. May not melee attack because it's an archer unit. It's kind of common sense. It does give you more great generals, or in this case for Mongolia, more Khans, and quick study. Honestly, I don't know what quick study is, but I believe that's promotions are gained faster. And then Khan. What is a Khan? What does this do? It's not actual. You don't use this unit to kill anybody. You don't use it to build something, but instead, this is just a great general, but different. He helps out you. He helps out more than a normal great general would. So, what is it that they do? They move a faster rate than a great general. They can actually heal adjacent units, and that's huge because if you have an army of Keshiks and a Khan in between, he'll be your medic, and he'll also increase the damage that they do. So if, let's say, you have this Khan and another horseman have a medic promotion, they will never really die. I mean, they will, but it'll be very, very difficult for somebody to take you out. So militarily, Genghis Khan is very dominant. So, with that being said, I'll take you over to the social policies and which one I would recommend. Alright, before I show you any social policies, will tell you that when you play Genghis Khan, your start bias will generally be something of this, as you can see here, where you're in the jungle. Another start bias would normally be in more or less a plains, desert area, because again, if you know where Mongolia is on the map, it's not exactly the most hospitable place. So usually you don't get stuck with the best land ever, but you will get stuck with jungle sometimes, which is better than absolutely nothing and just desert. But with that being said, I'll show you the social policy that I would recommend if you were to play Genghis Khan. Definitely be liberty. You're going to be conquering things, you're going to take over city-states, you're going to take over whatever it is in your path that you absolutely find necessary. With that being said, you're going to want to rapidly expand. You're going to want cities to build more things and continue to grow, just as the Mongols had back in their heyday. So, again, as always, liberty is going to give you a free settler eventually. It's going to give you a free worker. The worker is going to work harder, and the settler will be able to be built faster. Not that that really is a big perk for you, because you're going to conquer cities rather than actually building settlers to build cities. And then if you get further down into the game, I would also recommend autocracy. Again, you're really only going to want to be dominating in this game. You're not really going to want to go any other route. Again, scientific victory can work. It's there, but that's more or less a fail-safe if you're not able to conquer everybody. And one last thing as well, with Genghis Khan and this little map, sure, I haven't looked too far, but as you can see, I'm landlocked right now. Sure, I may be on a river, but I'm in the middle of whatever continent land I am at. So most of the time when you're Genghis Khan, be prepared to not be near a coast. So that does it for Mongolia. Please rate, subscribe, and comment.